Welcome to English Speaking Practice, Learning from Story. This podcast is designed to help you improve your English speaking skills through engaging stories. Each episode, we'll explore a fascinating story together, and you'll get to practice your speaking, pronunciation, and listening skills. So sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the journey of learning English through storytelling. The train to Willow Hill. Emma sat alone in her apartment on a quiet Thursday evening, staring out the window. The city lights blinked like tired eyes, and the rain fell softly, as if it, too, needed rest. Her phone buzzed again. Work messages, calendar reminders, news updates. She ignored them all. She felt empty. Not sad, not angry, just hollow. Like a room with all the furniture removed. She stood, walked to the kitchen, poured herself a glass of water, and suddenly opened her laptop. She didn't think. She just typed, "Train tickets near me." One destination popped up that she didn't recognize. Willow Hill. She clicked it. A small town. A 3-hour train ride. No real attractions. No tourist spots. But something about the name. It sounded peaceful. So, without planning, without packing, she booked it. The train rumbled forward the next morning. Emma sat by the window, watching the city disappear behind her. Buildings became trees. Traffic became open space. For the first time in months, she breathed deeply. Across from her sat an old woman knitting a red scarf. She looked up and smiled. "Willow Hill?" the woman asked. Emma nodded. "Good choice," she said, and returned to her knitting. They didn't speak much, but it felt comforting, like being near someone who didn't need noise to fill the silence. The train passed over rivers, fields, and forests. Emma opened her sketchbook and drew a tree. Just one. But that one tree felt like a beginning. The train stopped at a tiny platform with no sign, no announcements, just quiet. Willow Hill. Emma stepped off and felt the stillness wrap around her like a blanket. The air smelled like grass and baked bread. Birds chirped. A man walked past with a dog and tipped his hat. A woman in a yellow raincoat rode by on a bike with a basket full of flowers. Emma wondered. She found a bakery and bought a warm cinnamon roll. She sat on a wooden bench outside and took slow bites. She had nowhere to be, no schedule, no one waiting. She stayed there for almost an hour. At the end of the street, she saw a crooked sign, "Leaf and lantern, books and tea." Inside, it smelled like old pages and lemon. A boy behind the counter looked up, looking for something special. Emma smiled. Just something quiet. He handed her a small poetry book with no cover title. "This one's for wanderers," he said. She sat near the window and read a poem about rivers and stones. Her eyes watered, not from sadness, but from the strange relief of feeling again. The next morning, she hiked a trail behind the guest house. The path curved through woods and climbed gently into the hills. As she reached the top, the town below looked like a painting. She lay on the grass, eyes to the sky, and let the wind touch her face. She didn't think. She didn't scroll. She simply existed. Birds flew overhead. Somewhere in the trees, wind chimes rang. She whispered to no one, "I forgot how beautiful life is when I slow down." It rained that afternoon, but not the kind of rain that ruins plans, the kind that makes you want to walk. Emma borrowed an umbrella from the guest house and wandered again. She found a small wooden bridge over a quiet creek. The water moved gently, like a lullaby. She stood there for a long time, watching it. A boy passed by and said, "My grandma used to say this bridge listens. You can tell it your secrets, and it never tells. Emma laughed quietly. I'll keep that in mind. She stayed until the clouds parted and the sun painted gold across the trees. That night, she sat in a cafe with string lights and soft music. A man played guitar in the corner. She ordered tea and drew in her sketchbook again. This time, faces, trees, moments. The waiter noticed. You're an artist. Trying to be again, she said. He nodded. This town does that. It makes you remember who you were before the noise. They talked for hours, not about jobs or plans, but about the small things, favorite smells, childhood memories, dreams they once had and might still find. On the train back to the city, Emma held a bag of fresh bread, her sketchbook, and the little poetry book. She looked out the window as the trees turned back to buildings, but something inside her had changed. She smiled at strangers. She stopped to look at sunsets between the buildings. She painted again, wrote short notes, took long walks without headphones, and whenever she felt lost in the noise again, she'd whisper one word to herself. Willow. Not just a place, a feeling, a memory, a soft, quiet voice that reminded her she belonged to herself, not to her phone, or her job, or the rush. And that stillness wasn't empty. It was where her soul spoke loudest. If you enjoyed this story and want to keep improving your English through real-life conversations and storytelling, don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel.